Maclunkey.
Maclunkey. I'm sorry. You were counting it. I didn't even think about it.
It's perfectly fine. Welcome,
Maclunkey.
fucking Richard. Jesus,
What?
came in so loud too at that one.
Can't believe
my
you.
eardrums.
What'd I do?
I think he was fine.
Welcome everybody to our She-Hulk episode 9 finale discussion. We are joined by Till and Brutal Richard today, as well as AJ. But you're always
Hello,
here.
it's me.
So.
Yeah.
Hey.
Females, am I right?
Oh. And canceled. You gotta do that after the 5-minute mark, people. That way we're not gonna get picked up. Jesus. Come on.
All I have to say about this series is women. Am I right?
What I've been liking about watching shows in this last little bit with everyone is that I know I'm gonna enjoy hearing what everyone thinks about them, especially coming out of this episode. I was like, oh shit. Let's get
everyone's first reaction though.
It's cool, but man, I knew it was gonna be divisive. Let's just say that.
Richard, I want yours first. What do you think?
I think this episode has made me give up on the MCU.
Really?
Like, legitimately.
Entirely.
This entire episode just made me hate the MCU. I'm just done with it.
Why?
Damn.
You will
not be seeing Richard on the next Marvel review.
Nope, I'm fucking done with the MCU, dude. This whole episode was just like this disappointing cop-out for bad. Like, let's take all the awful writing in this show, and then just...
Yeah.
Oh,
Hello?
Richard? Hello?
I think you lost your mic.
Richard, no! I need to know your
You
take!
lost them.
Dude, that is kind of scary, is what that is. Like, Marvel is silencing us.
Marvel just canceled him.
Holy shit!
Kevin Feige came in and shut him down.
What did you think?
I understand his point. Keep in mind that the direction for this episode and the writing that spawned from it seems to have come from Kevin Feige himself.
Yeah.
Where he didn't, like, I was reading an interview and stuff, and they said, like, they had a more traditional ending that we were expecting, and he's like, you don't have to do this. This is a different show. This is a different kind of character. You do whatever you want, and that kind of spawned the idea of the direction that they took for this episode. Overall, I thought this episode was fine. I thought it was clever at moments. I thought it subverted expectations at moments, but most of all, it was confusing. I have a lot of questions about this episode, and I'm actually going to hit play here because I'm going to watch it back because I'm going to forget like everything that happened because there's way too much.
So, I agree. I liked it, but it's definitely kind of like Richard was saying, kind of like a cop out where just the poor shitty writing throughout the entire series was actually just planned to make this weird twist happen at the end. Where like everything was coming to a conclusion where weird shit was going down. Hulk came back, this guy turned into a Hulk. Only for it to be like, oh no, this isn't actually what we want because this is weird. Why is this happening?
I don't want me to jump in immediately and just go at that part of it, but that was the part to me that was a little jarring because it's kind of strange to take out almost like an entire plotline of development of what might have been something and then just to literally be like, fuck off. Yeah. And then to almost imply that She-Hulk could do this as like a power and be like, I don't like how the plotline's going in this movie right now. Like, fuck this shit.
Like in a future movie, she's like, "You want me to talk to them?" Or like,
Secret Wars is like, "Yeah, I think I know how I might figure this out." Because the writing right now is just not up to snuff, honestly.
I don't think. I think it's going to be similar to Deadpool, where we'll see these characters interact in the crossover stuff. Well, it kind of works like similar to the comics. They don't do that much fourth wall breaking and world breaking in their like crossover comics because there's an overall story to tell.
Yeah.
It's their solo stuff where they just go all out. So I don't really expect She-Hulk to be like this kind of She-Hulk in crossover stuff. But if there's a season 2, they'll absolutely continue this sort of trend that
It's
they were
just
doing
that it's
for
one of
this
those
season.
like power creep things where it like sets a precedent for certain things where it's like, oh, they can do this, so that you
They can,
know,
yeah.
kind of, and then like so watching it is kind of weird. I don't know. Like it's just
Yeah,
always
the
something
big-
that we deal with Marvel, but still.
The biggest character in the comics for that, I think, is Gwenpool, which is sort of a Deadpool-like
Yeah,
character
yeah.
that has the name Gwen because she appeared on a alternate cover where Gwen Stacy was like every Marvel character. But she does fourth wall breaking, and she knows everything about the Marvel universe
Yeah.
because she was a fan.
Yeah, and I'm like, again, I'm fine with that to an extent. It's just that, like, with the degree that it was and the messiness of the whole thing in general, because it didn't feel set up in this way. I get that was the point, but it's messy still. Like, I get it. I don't know. It makes the whole season kind of rough for me, like, on hindsight.
But like,
Yeah.
like getting rid of like the whole blood storyline is like,
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like that's one of
Like-
several questions I have where she basically rewrites this episode. So what that whole blood story didn't happen?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
like, I was expecting her for when she goes back to. I was expecting that guy, the part of the wrecking crew, to like exposit more stuff after she met him again.
Yeah, and the blood thing and the wrecking crew thing were like two story lines that didn't end up going anywhere.
Yeah.
Which was upsetting. Like I think the wrecking crew is kind of
Did
a
you
joke
notice
and-
that it, like in the meeting, like that Abomination was in, like the hard hat wearing wrecking crew member was there?
Oh no, I didn't.
That
I'll
was
be on the
funny.
lookout now for that.
God damn, I missed that.
So Wrecker kind of defected from his crew.
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But like at that point, I'd be, like, if he really does feel remorse, like that was a perfect opportunity to be like, yeah, so we were trying to take your blood for this sort of thing.
Yeah,
You know,
why
like-
didn't you ever like explain anything to her?
I
never
felt like
did.
that would have been the perfect time to do so, and yet.
Even if like it was the sort of thing where like where Jennifer didn't know what he was talking about, like she doesn't remember them ever trying to take blood because it was such a small part. It could still be like, oh, I still feel so bad for it, you know, like.
Yeah, just like erasing that part of the storyline, like, oh, they never tried to get her blood or they never got her blood, and he didn't turn into the dude Hulk or whatever. Like that erases like a big portion of the show that was like leading up to that, and I kind of feel like where they ended up wouldn't have happened if that part of the storyline was
Well, yeah,
erased.
like it makes the whole plot line of the show kind of foggy, where you're like, well, what actually
Yeah.
did transpire then? I thought
Foggy
instead,
Nelson.
like, he would come, like, we'd come back to the situation and we'd see he was getting big and he would explode, kind of like in, like, What If? In, like, a green
Yeah, I was
blob.
expecting it not to work.
Yeah.
because Bruce said it's their unique DNA that got them to like be
Yeah.
the versions of the Hulks that they are.
So that
Instead,
was
we
kinda
got like
weird, too.
we got Todd turning into Scrappy Doo from the Scooby Doo movie.
Dude, you put it perfectly. I thought it was the exact same kind of thing when I was
Me
watching.
too,
It looked
like,
gross.
when his arm grows first,
his
his
little
all tiny.
leggies.
Yeah.
Oh my god, though, yeah. So like that kind of thing I think that would have been a much cleaner resolution to that. Also, making him the leader of intelligentsia was just kind of
Yeah, it's
sudden
weird.
Well, they
weird.
definitely set it up that way because like he was asking, like looking back on it, he was asking weird questions, doing weird stuff.
I get it that he could be like a part of it. I'd be fine with him being like in intelligentsia.
Like a part of it for sure.
But
I didn't think
the person
about
who
leader,
made it,
yeah.
I was shocked.
Like
Yeah, I
people
wasn't that
probably
shocked.
like, I guarantee like people were like, oh, the leader is the leader,
Yeah.
you know, like.
That was me.
Well, it felt
I
like
was
we were
expecting the
going
leader.
there, like especially with didn't they announce that till that he's gonna show up in?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Captain America.
So it kind of felt like, oh, this is. We always anticipate Marvel to be like more connective than they try to be, but then they make really weird connective things. I find that to be the case. Like we make in our heads these cool connections.
It could have been that maybe they were planning that in
Maybe.
the show, but Kevin's like, hey, no, we have other plans for the leader, and we can't work it into the show.
Yeah, like potentially, but like for what we got, I just feel like it could have used something like that. I don't know.
Well, that's
Some
like every
direction.
time we do this stuff. I don't mean to like toot my own horn, but fuck, dude, I could have done this shit way better.
We could have been in the writers' room and been like, maybe not that one. I don't know.
Every time, like I don't want to be that guy that's just, oh, I could have done this way better. But like honestly, I think I could have.
I just think I don't need to have like a grand old paycheck for Marvel or anything like that, but I'm down to like sit in the room and be like a person who's like, nah.
Yeah, just like occasionally I'll be the guy that people point to, and I'll just say yes or no, and that'll be my entire job.
With Star Wars, they had that with the story group for a bit, but then unfortunately JJ was like, we're not going to use that for episode 9, and look at how that turned out. So yeah.
There are
They
some
should have
positive
planned it
parts
out
of,
way more. That's the thing is a lot of this stuff doesn't feel like it has a plan. You know, it just feels like it's
no.
being cobbled together.
And that's the thing, right? Is like the whole ending of the show kind of was like playing on the fact that it's been aimless, and I'm like, well, that doesn't change the fact that the whole show felt aimless and not good.
Like
that.
the idea, but at the end is, I hope that's for them saying that they are listening and are planning on changing the future projects, because like Werewolf by Night, perfect example. That is perfectly what we're looking for, you know.
Yeah, like a little bite-sized tidbit of a story of a character that, like, imagine if that had gotten like a full show. That would have probably been overstretched and like ridiculous.
Yeah, it didn't need to be. Yeah,
and
it
so,
probably
like,
would have been 3 episodes of them in the fucking maze or whatever, the hunting grounds, doing fucking bullshit the entire time.
Yeah. So like doing a 45 to like, I don't know, like 50-minute long show or whatever, like, or short is awesome and like fits very well for that character.
Brilliant.
Do that more, because we got a Hawkeye show that I feel could have benefited from being like a holiday special.
Like cutting out a little bit of the fucking schmutz in the middle, you could have had a short instead.
Yeah, I think that the benefit with Disney Plus is that they could really do anything that they want and not have a show that has to be 8 episodes even or something like that.
They
It could be
genuinely
3 episodes.
could have cut out like 3 full episodes and would have been a better story.
a lot of time. I mean, the filler was the court cases.
Yeah,
That's what it came down to.
Yeah, just a lot of like
it became very
aimlessness.
apparent that the people writing this don't know how to write court. Like, you hire someone who worked on like Bull or any other courtroom drama, and
Well, it's like
you could have gotten a better product.
Even at the very first episode, right? Like, she turns to the camera and says "lawyer show," and it's like, well, I don't think that's the case. Like, I don't really agree that it's a lawyer show. It's not really good with the law stuff. So
Yeah.
it
The
sure
be-
is like
the-
the character is a lawyer for sure.
But this is good tidings, because like the best lawyer part of this show was with Matt Murdock.
Yeah, it says something, and I feel bad about that, but it does say something.
Where like, but like that's also good news for Born Again, where like it might actually be a good lawyer show if they keep that up.
I don't think this has any sort of precedent for Born Again, other
Yeah.
than maybe She-Hulk will make a cameo, but I don't.
But I think that
don't
AJ more
we
so
should really
means
look
like
at
with
that
like
sort of-
what like the mentality is going into that show.
Yeah, because the lawyer parts in this were shit, obviously, but the best part, like the one I was actually engaged in, was when Matt Murdock was fucking owning the entire courtroom the entire time. I was like, that's the kind of shit I want to see, and Matt is killing it, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see more like courtroom kind of stuff in Daredevil.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it'll
I hope
be
so.
at a totally different tier, I would say, probably. So
At that point, we're gonna have 2 different types of lawyer shows
yeah.
in the MCU, which is strange to think about.
Well, I know that I think she teased the season 2 at the end of this or whatever.
Yeah,
but like
she did. Yeah,
we don't know if that's 100% gonna happen.
it's
I don't know.
gonna
man.
happen.
I guess, but like if
It's
this
gonna
gets
happen.
a season 2 and Moon Knight doesn't,
Listen,
then I'm
we're-
even more like concerned.
We're not the only ones who aren't the biggest fans of She-Hulk, but I am looking online for feedback, and people like the show. So we're definitely not in the same sort of demographic, but there are people
Like,
who enjoy
well,
it. And
I did like it if you just look at it strictly in like a comedic sense.
that's my favorite parts about the show is the like the stretched out satirical stuff about making fun of the MCU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, if you
that's
don't take
kinda-
it
that's the
seriously
kind of
at
stuff
all
I
and like
like.
kind of take it as an entirely fourth wall breaking character, like I think it
Yeah.
works pretty well. But it's just the fact that, like we're saying, when you get to this end point, everything kind of feels like it almost crumbles a little bit to me. Like maybe not in like a bad way, but in
Well, I mean, like,
definitely like a way that
but,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
Because
rewatch
like
it.
the
You know,
entire build
I have mixed feelings about it.
The entire buildup didn't leave a lot of you said like it crumbles at the end. It did. Like the entire build-up for this show didn't really hold a lot of support, anyway. So
Yeah, right. Like there just wasn't a foundation really to crumble. Even is the problem.
yeah,
Like, it was sort of built up and then just
it
floundered.
was like a shitty little sandcastle that once you like then like the last episode with Matt Murdock, like you put a nice little bow on top of it, and then it all just falls apart with this episode.
I'm sorry, I have to go scene by scene for this episode because again there was so much that happened. But the
So
one thing I
much.
want to give props to is the beginning, the almost shot for shot recreation of the original Hulk
That
I
was
show
great.
was
that
amazing.
kind of shit is awesome when they do like aesthetic kind of cool looking shit. I love that.
That was great. I
You
love
always
that part.
get me in with that. Like Moon Knight when they did cool shit like with the visuals, I'm in.
Yeah, the TV show they did there too.
Yeah.
Like when they zoomed out, yeah.
I like that kind of thing makes me go like it clicks me in. WandaVision was that for like half the show. Literally like
One
my
thing-
entire reason of watching it was
One
that
thing
it was,
I'm
like, a
just
sequel.
realizing now is that there's 3 different aspect ratios in this episode. There's the 4:3 for that homage kind of intro. The rest of the show is like theatrically wide, which all Disney Plus shows are for Marvel, which I always found weird because they're
Yeah.
made for TV.
And-
And then there's when she breaks into the Marvel Studios area, it goes 16:9.
Like yeah, I did notice that actually. That was cool. Like I always love changes like that. I noticed that in I don't know if you watched Mando at all, Till, but in season 2, the premiere, when the crate dragon attacks, it like what goes from like I don't know the proportions exactly, but it goes from like the widescreen to the full screen like IMAX thing when the crate dragon shows up. And I
Oh, okay.
didn't honestly notice that until like the scene ends where Mando is going off and it comes back into a widescreen, and it was like it blew my mind kind of like aesthetically. Like I don't know, like it was really cool in that episode.
Yeah.
I still hate the fact that she's in a damage control prison for breaking a couple TVs.
Yeah, like
Well, I
for
think-
what she did. Oh my god, we said that too.
I-
That if we started this episode in a goddamn interrogation thing, I'm pissed. Fuck.
Yeah,
I think it's because she went crazy or whatever. But like,
yeah, because
apparently she
everybody
was in
sees her
control
as
that
a
whole
threat.
time.
But like, dudes, people, like what was happening to her was shitty. Like, fuck, can we have some understanding? Like, I don't
Also,
know.
I guess this part didn't happen either. By the way, she rewrote the show because now she's not fired; she's a lawyer again, and she can turn into the Hulk. She doesn't have the inhibitor thing anymore. Like, so she's just like, "Hey, my life sucks. Oh, I can talk to Kevin and be like, hey, make my life awesome
turn
again."
my life around.
So the whole reason why she went to the Abomination's cabin doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Man. And like just everything at the cabin didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like Hulk and
No.
Titania. Was there someone
Well,
else?
I think that was the point.
I
Like, at
get
that
it, I
point.
get it.
Yeah,
But fuck.
Titania went nowhere.
Yeah, Titania.
too.
Like Titania, she didn't ask for Titania to leave because like, why the fuck was she there in the first place?
That was just that to me. I was like, I get it again. That was the point, but I was like, yo, overdoing it.
Yeah, but like when
'Cause-
she went to talk to Kevin, she was like, "Let's turn this guy back into normal. Let's get rid of Bruce." And
Yeah, Titania was still
Abomination is
there.
just sorry for what he did. But then like she didn't say anything about Titania, so she was still there. All that
Yeah.
happened with Titania.
Yeah, I guess Titania can still be there, but you know,
Titania can randomly burst through a wall whenever she wants. I guess.
and like, man, even the Daredevil thing, man, I was like, yo,
I found that
shit.
no,
funny,
I
though.
love, I love
found-
it.
I found that funny.
Yeah, me
There's-
too. For multiple reasons. Well, first of all, they said Daredevil's only going to show up in one episode, so they lied to us there. Two, the reason he's there is for the joke, like,
A woman
Jen's
has her
like-
needs.
yeah, woman has her needs, and then Kevin responding, we've traditionally been light in that
yeah, like
subject.
I get it. I totally
That's
get
always
it.
been a criticism of the MCU is there's no sex or relationships in the MCU, so I thought that was funny.
Like, but like, yeah. But
Let's
I
talk about
don't know.
Scar for a second.
Oh, baby, let's talk
About
about
what?
Scar.
Scar, yeah.
Oh
What the fuck?
man.
That guy looks like Robbie Amell or like Channing Tatum.
What is that hairline, dude? That better change in the next movie. Because holy
They
fuck.
better. Like
They
that
somehow made
hairline-
him look worse than She-Hulk.
Yeah, like what
Well,
the
like
fuck?
the animation, like the CG looked fine. It was just that freaky
I
hairline.
don't know. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this looks
But
weird.
then the actor
like,
who's
second look,
supposed-
I'm like, I guess it looks okay.
The
But the
hairline,
actor
though.
who
What the
plays
fuck?
him,
Yeah.
the actor who plays him looks nothing like the Hulk like version, the Scar version.
Yeah, I think they pretty much just like did like the Mark Ruffalo face, but tried to like not Mark
Make
Ruffalo,
it
but like
younger.
the
But
Hulk Mark Ruffalo
in
face.
in Age of Ultron, like I think I know the correct answer, but like Hulk said when he was talking to Black Widow that like neither of them could have kids.
Well, but his implication was that he would like kill a woman when he was like Hulk.
That was my implication. That was my idea. But a lot of
That
people,
Hulk would literally smash.
yeah, but like a lot of people are like, oh, he said in Age of Ultron he can't have kids. Why is Scar here?
It's an alien
I didn't
woman,
even
probably,
think about
ladies. or
It's an
people.
alien woman that can handle the Hulk.
Yeah, it's a big person. Like Thanos dealt with the Hulk pretty goddamn quick, so maybe it's like I don't know. Come on, people. Think
Yeah,
outside the box a little bit. Hulk
But
bangs aliens.
my idea is that like Black Widow literally can't have kids, and the Hulk just will kill anyone he tries to have kids
Yeah.
with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, he's kind of like poisoned by gamma
Yeah.
radiation, and he has
Yeah.
a condition where he turns into a giant monster.
Exactly.
He has a skin
that's the reason
condition, you can say.
But yeah,
Uh,
like I don't know, like this is again like setting up a little bit of like Young Avengers type stuff, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like, yo, maybe they're setting this up. Probably not, because we're just criticizing a hairline for no fucking reason, really. But
Well,
I'm
do you
already
think-
seeing that they're gonna make him over in that movie or something. When like Kate Bishop would
hope-
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Well, like, because like his
Probably.
hairline looks like it's already growing back, so maybe that was like an indication that like
Yeah. It was
like-
shaven for sure.
it was shaven and like it probably is starting to grow back already.
It's like a
They did
Sakaar
this-
thing, I imagine, or something.
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, they did the same thing with Hulk and Abomination, so I wouldn't put it past them to redesign the character.
Why is Abomination like twice the size of Hulk right now?
Because he's Smart Hulk.
That's
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But also he was like, to be fair, he was bigger always. Like he wasn't like bigger, but he was a little bit bigger than Hulk always.
In the
In
the
2008,
original movie, yeah, the Incredible Hulk movie, which everything looked different
Yeah.
down to the actors.
He was down. He was a different person, literally.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that movie has any sort of context.
But I'm
to-
just saying
yeah,
it like
over
already
it.
suggests in a sense that like he's got like a
Yeah.
bigger stature. I think even like sometimes in the comics, like Abomination, because I don't think Abomination can, because like isn't Hulk's thing that he gets bigger the more angrier he is?
That was in like the Eric Bana movie.
That's just in the movie, or is that not? That's not in the comics at all.
I don't think that's in the.
I don't think
comics.
so. I
Okay.
think he gets like stronger and more like powerful the more angry he is.
But yeah,
I
the
don't
Eric
think
Bana
it's-
version, like he got bigger as he got angrier.
Like that was one of the coolest shots in that entire movie is when the dog is like biting his arm and he gets angrier, so like it just flexes and like breaks the dog's jaw. Like I was like,
Yeah,
that was a cool idea. Good job, movie.
I don't want to remember much about that
Me
movie.
either, but that part was kind of cool.
they're saying like it's possible and even likely that his mass increases to accommodate his new strength whenever he gets angry.
All right.
So that could be it.
I just felt like also with Abomination, I like at first I was worried we were going in a direction that Abomination was like the ultimate evil of the whole thing,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, like he's given this whole like speech in front of everyone, like I'm in charge, and I was like,
I'm
no,
just,
okay,
I'm just doing it for the money.
yeah, I was like, thank God you're just doing like a goddamn little pep up speech for some psychos, but Jesus, could have
Yeah, I
gone in
just
such
get
a
paid
worse
to-
direction.
I get paid to hype up some freaks.
So he's so Abomination's now in
Prison again for 10 years.
no
No,
With
well
possibility of parole.
did you-
No,
did you catch
Did-
the
yeah.
mid credit scene?
Oh, there's a mid. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He broke out with one. Yeah, yeah.
with Wongers, dude, I was so expecting Madison to show up in that scene too. I'm not
know.
gonna lie.
I like the
Imagine she like showed up with like bedhead.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit.
What's been going on in the background?
background?
Yeah, you're just watching Sopranos, eh?
I love the double meanings in that end credits, like when he asks like, "Oh, you got wrapped up in another show," and then he's like, "Just TV's been, it's like a really good time for TV or something."
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So I thought that was funny. But yeah, I didn't
No
think.
kidding with how many goddamn talk shows we're doing right now.
Yeah,
God
being
damn.
sent back to prison for another 10 years, like I wouldn't be like, I just got, fuck it, I'll go to Comertage.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
What happened to Richard anyway?
Richard's internet cut out. He just messaged me.
Okay.
He will be back hopefully soon, and we can get his takes on this episode. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was cool. I'm actually shocked that they didn't pull some bullshit that they always do, where it's like Abomination will return in.
Oh,
There he is. At, like we just were saying too, dude. Abomination will return in Thunderbolts or some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
but I
Well,
guess
I
But
think he will.
they already announced the cast. I don't know if he is.
I mean
gonna
they could
return.
like change it.
They,
Be like,
they didn't announce him, but I think that's kind of a spoiler when we're halfway through She-Hulk. But I
whatever,
would imagine
whatever.
it's going to be Thunderbolts.
So
People
my
expected
internet
him.
died, and I'm
Yeah.
on my phone. That's how badly I wanted to be part of this conversation.
fuck yeah, I'll
Alright.
take it. We'll take it, dude.
It's like I told you guys how I felt, and then I feel like the gods
Mar-
of Marvel just immediately smited
That's
me.
what we said.
Marvel
We said
was like,
Disney
no,
came
no.
in. And, yeah, we're like, oh, we can't have this guy going brutal Richard
They
anymore.
canceled you, man.
I straight up I got canceled. I said that I hated this episode and I hate the MCU, and Marvel said, "Oh yeah, bye."
They're gonna turn brutal Richard into complacent Richard.
Oh, good luck with that.
I was actually having fun with this episode until it went stupid. Like I was having a really good time. I thought
So
the
if they continued on with like the weird like Todd Hulk sort of thing, would you like that?
Yeah,
No,
because that's
I
what I
thought
was wondering about your opinion, because you said you didn't want to have another dumb CG fight, and that's
No, I didn't. I expected one. So I am glad they subverted my expectations, but they did it in the worst possible way. I think that okay. To begin with, I thought the Savage She-Hulk intro was better than everything that's been in this entire show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The entire
Yeah.
show.
10 out of 10.
we were saying that. We were saying like Savage She-Hulk intro was great.
It blows my mind how much better She-Hulk looked like as a real person instead of CG. Like, Grant, I know that she in that scene she was like raw anger beast, and they were playing that up, but like just how much better She-Hulk looked as a practical effect person was astounding to me.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like when seeing like Todd and all that bullshit, for one, I hated that entire scene for one, because it's just, oh, let's make fun of fans that have critical opinions and just call them misogynists. Oh yeah, cool. But I
think
thought-
they're just making fun of the misogynists of the
Yeah.
fan group.
yeah.
I
This
guess.
is like a
Because that is
secluded
a very apparent like fan or group of this fandom.
I just don't buy that. I think that the majority of people that don't like this stuff have legitimate criticisms,
yeah.
and
yeah.
what Marvel does is they just label them as misogynists and write it off, which they clearly did for this last
Well,
episode.
I just think
They
what
did
it
that
is,
before the show too.
it's just
the
poking
people
fun at like the
criticizing
loud
CG.
ones, in a sense, right? Like, it's,
Yeah,
it's just
Yeah,
poking
for
fun at
sure.
the geeks and gamers, the nerdrotics, and those kind of people who like
But the
are
people
a
who-
problem.
to
I don't
Richard's
think
point.
product is a to begin with.
To
But-
Richard's point, they did like there was the legitimate criticism to the CG, and then someone who worked on the show basically gave the answer, yeah, that those people complaining are sexist and misogynist.
Yeah,
Right.
Like we're talking about the CG here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like, that's not even relevant.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, it's a real issue where like if you complain about the writing of this show or the practical effects, you're just a bigot of some sort, and it's incredibly frustrating. But like what's even crazier to me is that I looked this up. They had an actual stand-in that was a 6'5" like really built woman to play She-Hulk during the scenes where they needed actors to respond to her. So they could have done this the whole
No,
time.
they had a cardboard or like a plastic dummy head on top of Tatiana Maslany wearing a CG or a motion capture suit. Like I've seen they've talked
Yeah.
about it in interviews, and I've seen the behind the scenes footage.
Yeah, I mean, I've also seen the behind-the-scenes footage of the actual actress standing next to Tatiana, who was
Oh,
6'5"
shit,
and
okay.
built.
All right.
So like they had both.
I was also saying, I want your opinion on this. I was also saying that like the previous episode 8 with Daredevil in the courtrooms like might bode well for the Daredevil show, because that was honestly the best courtroom moment in the entire show. Everything else just sucked.
I don't think that says much.
I like,
Yeah,
that's
same.
like the
Yeah,
way he
I
just fucking-
completely agree.
I think it holds some hope for like a better version of the courtroom drama in Daredevil.
But I think that
That's
the teams are different, right, in general. So I just
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
that, like, I think that it bodes well that it's a different team, and it won't be this one. So, like,
And also the actor's awesome, so he's gonna
Yeah.
give it his all.
Mhm.
Like that's really all that really matters at that point.
Yeah, with the ending stuff, I did think that it was getting real dumb with Todd getting buff and then the Hulk showing up and Abomination doing his thing.
I think
But I
that
also-
was the idea there. I totally
Yeah.
understand that was the idea. That was just getting really stupid for no
but
reason.
that doesn't change the fact that it was still really
Yeah,
stupid.
it doesn't
Like,
change the fact that like it was just like when everything was happening, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then when I realized that is the kind of reaction that they were sort of expecting us to be like, I was like, "Okay, well, like that, like
The
helps a
problem is-
little bit, like a very little bit, but
Very
not a
little.
lot."
The way that they ended up handling that though felt like they took the entirety of the show and how stupid it was written and just hand waved it away as if to say like,
Yeah.
it was stupid. My
That's
bad.
what we were saying. Yeah,
That's
like
the part, yeah, because I'm conflicted about that because I did like parts of it, but yeah, the whole like, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. We like all the stuff that led up to that moment just didn't happen, and so
yeah.
where she's at in that part of the episode, it doesn't make sense for her to be there anymore.
Yeah, like they're pretty much saying at the end like all the dumb storylines were intentionally dumb to make this
Yeah, it
twist
was mind boggling.
Yeah,
And on top
Like-
of all of that, like I don't read She-Hulk, so I'm putting that on the table now.
Mhm.
But to my
Same.
knowledge, She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall. She
Yep.
doesn't jump through dimensions.
Oh,
and
she
stuff.
does.
Actually,
She does.
She literally breaks all the comics once.
She does. That was like direct reference to the comics.
That
for doing
that was very accurate as what she actually does.
Fair enough.
but with what I was saying,
Better. I feel like the whole thing with Kevin was like tongue in cheek and made me chuckle for all of 6 seconds before I was like, oh, okay, this is just an excuse to add a Deus Ex Machina and just write
Yeah.
away how shit they were.
yeah, right. I was saying that this maybe might be a good thing, in that like it tells us that they're listening to the fans.
I think that the point is that they're aware of what fans say, not so much that they listen. Like they have their own
I don't-
agenda
they're-
and plans.
Sorry,
and
something's
everything,
going on
but-
with my mic right now.
Yeah.
Or something's happening with my headphones. Anyway, like I think it might be a good thing in the future where like they are listening or understanding at least, and maybe that could lead to change.
Hopefully, I don't know, man. After the Kevin thing, and like we're just dropping in like Daredevil just as a laugh. That I just lost.
I like
any.
that. I like that though. That was like because they set it up. They set up like, oh, we need Daredevil should be back, and then he just drops out of nowhere. Like that was pretty funny.
I want to say it was funny, but it sits wrong with me because it goes against the entire message of what this show's been saying about how to treat women and objectifying women.
Yeah.
And it's like,
with
oh,
the amount of women on that fucking that writing table when she broke in, like why didn't they do that better?
right.
Right?
It's just absurd to me. It's so backwards, and every message that they have, they literally just flip it in reverse. And like going in reverse isn't fixing the problem. You're just doing it the other way.
Like it doesn't matter if Captain America was a virgin or not. Still calling that shit out is weird and awkward.
It's inappropriate. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether male or female. It's an inappropriate conversation.
If that was a guy doing it to a woman, that show would be canceled immediately.
I mean, even like imagine if this show were Daredevil's show and he was like, "Oh man, I really wish Jen were here so I could fuck her, and I don't want her here for any reason than that."
Man, I met this green chick, tight puss, and like that they
Eat
canceled
puss.
immediately.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
that's
like,
the rating that they're
cancel.
going to go for on the Daredevil show. They're like, yeah, that's the kind of thing he's saying on that one. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I felt like, okay, I had a little bit of hope up until things kind of jumped the shark. And then the moment things calmed down and I see Scar,
Where was the shark?
What do you think of Scar?
What was the shark this episode, or was it early on in the season?
Yeah, to be fair, this whole show is jumping the shark. But I think the biggest offender is obviously, going to different dimensions. But once I saw Scar, I was like, fuck this. I'm out. I'm checked out. I'm done.
Hey, it wasn't a
but
baby though, like we were expecting. We didn't get baby Hulk.
Or-
You guys
The
were
only-
expecting that. You guys were. I don't want to be lumped into that group.
I was expecting like an adult Hulk. Like I was like definitely with the timeline. I was like maybe he's a baby, I guess. But like I was also expecting him to be an adult because in the comics like he ages super fast.
Yeah, I was like at least teenage or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But the only problem, like he looked great, and I'm glad they introduced him. But his
You thought
fucking hairline
great?
is the worst.
I thought he looked fucking stupid with his
Yeah,
yee
I thought he looked
That's
stupid.
what I'm
too.
saying.
No.
Like, he looked fine, but his haircut is the worst
Yeah.
part.
The hair needs to change because if I see that again, I'm going to
The
vomit, dude.
haircut was.
Do you
fucking
think they have
horrendous,
an actor set for that character?
Yeah,
yet?
They do,
Or
they do.
just- They do. Okay.
Apparently,
dude.
like,
Apparently, like at least the actor that played him in this was what was his name? I sent it to you, Sam.
you did.
It was Will Dusner.
All he did was CG, or the motion capture.
Yeah, but like if you look up Will Dusner, Deusner, he looks nothing like the character. He looks nothing like Scar at all.
Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure they just like pretty much
they,
used like
they just
the Mark
de-aged,
Ruffalo
like yeah,
Hulk.
they de-aged Mark Ruffalo and made it more
Mhm.
like
Yep.
Channing Tatum or
I actually
Robbie
tricked.
Amell.
I tricked AJ because he was like, "It looks like Channing Tatum." I'm like, "It is," and he was like, "No way!"
But like, look up a picture of Robbie Amell. Like he looks just like Scar.
What? I mean, that's bold.
He looks like he could definitely be like the body or like the face of Scar.
And
It looks like
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, but like buff.
Yeah, like he
Like-
looks like three characters mashed together. Like
The only
The world-
thing, the only thing missing from that end family dinner scene was Vin Diesel.
yeah,
oh my,
right.
that dude. They have him around. He would have just shown up and just as Vin Diesel just say, "I am Groot," and I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, this is
for
great."
this show, he would have said that for sure.
I'm
It's
Groot.
like, well, we can't afford to CGI you right now, Vin,
We'll
or
do
Mr.
that
Diesel.
later.
I don't know what you'd rather be called.
Mr. Diesel.
Mr. Diesel. That sounds ridiculous.
this whole
Oh.
episode kind of felt like, aside from the writers finding a clever way to get an assumed clever way to get out of their own bad writing, it also just kind of felt like Marvel saying, like, looking the fans directly in the eye and saying, "Fuck you, we're going to do whatever we want."
Yeah, pretty much looking us in the eye and being like, "Yeah, we listen. We just choose to ignore you."
We just don't care. We're going to
We
make
just-
whatever we
yeah.
want to make. This isn't about you. This is about the money. Kevin
Look,
almost directly
like-
says that.
Like it's pretty much just like, here, we'll give you this fucking scene and you can splooge all over it and we'll change some things just to show you that, oh look, we do change stuff, but we're not actually gonna. This is bullshit.
I left this episode with such a bad taste in my mouth, worse than any other episode, because like
Damn.
This
The
was
one
the
part-
first time they
Damn.
said X-Men.
the
Oh, yeah.
episode prior to this really gave me hope. Like, oh man, they can fix this.
Yeah, the last episode is
yeah.
definitely the best episode.
Absolutely. Episode 8 like slaps compared to anything else.
Yep. I just ended up like walking away, just like this doesn't matter. This is stupid. This is just fucking dumb now.
This wasn't enough to give up on the MCU because I sort of just gave up on this show. That's it. But like the rest of the MCU, I'm still hopeful for.
Yeah, I'm still here.
So
I'm still here.
season
I'm still here
season
for it.
2, you anybody watch
I hope
it?
to God they
Well-
don't give us a season 2. I swear.
Please.
Like
They will.
of course I'll watch it. I'll be honest. Like I'll be there for it, but like I'll be bitching. I mean, like
I will be complaining.
I
the
will
whole
have
time.
my problems. Because especially if they don't give Moon Knight a season 2. God damn it! If he doesn't get a season
Moon Knight's
2,
gonna get a season 2.
Go
Yeah,
on.
if Moon Knight needs a season 2, man.
if he doesn't get a season 2 and She-Hulk gets a season 2, I'm done with this shit.
Well,
That'll
right.
be
They
my
got-
Richard point.
What, do you think they're making a Midnight Suns?
Well, we'll see if they can get their shit together for Blade.
Blade is really the whole thing right now because like once that gets like underway properly, like then I'll feel confident. But
Blade's fucked.
Blade's fucked right now. Yeah.
but
Blade-
it makes me so mad because fuck with what we saw with Werewolf by Night. I'm like, oh my god, you're willing to do some things. Oh, fuck.
We'll see.
Are we doing a show on Werewolf by Night? Because
We will. I'm trying to
maybe.
schedule it in sometime in the next couple weeks, but I have got a little dog that I'm taking care of, so he's being a little pain in my ass. But we will.
Well, I'll
figure
give you
it
a
out.
hint. Surprise. I didn't
What?
like it.
You
What?
didn't like it? Oh my fucking god, Richard! Every
Richard.
time.
Richard, you
Sorry.
little bitch.
If you
I like
Oh, fuck.
I thought it
if
was,
you schedule it on a day I'm not available, I'll just
Oh, pardon, you cut out at the very end there, Till.
if you schedule it on a day I'm not available, I'm just gonna send you my notes.
Did you hear what Keanu Reeves wishes he could play in the MCU?
Yeah, Ghost Rider. There's
Ghost
like
Rider.
3 actors gunning for the role of Ghost Rider right now.
I think Keanu might be really good at it.
Yo,
actually.
okay, but no.
For sure.
I'm sorry, Keanu. Can you please play Silver Surfer? I would way rather you
Oh,
play.
that would also be good though.
I'd way rather you play
for
like a
sure.
very like distant character than a present character.
Because I think like Ghost Rider is also kind of distant, you know.
But
I think
Johnny
I think,
Blaze,
like,
though,
he needs to play a character that is sort of just, I don't know. Like I think
Not human, practically, is what-
Silver Surfer and Ghost Rider would be perfect examples of
Yeah.
what he could play.
I just feel like I imagine
Why not both?
Someone playing Ghost Rider. I feel like has to be Nick. I mean, like I want Nicolas Cage. If they bring him back as
If they bring
Ghost
Nick,
Rider-
no, do like a multiverse crossover with Nicolas Cage.
Like, yeah,
and
he's
Ghost
got
Rider.
Nicolas Cage in here. Like it's all good, and we get some crazy ass acting.
We'll see for Secret Wars.
Well, God
Oh, yeah.
damn, see. Is
Can
there
I
anything- Yeah.
can I like be positive about this? episode?
Absolutely, go
Yeah,
for it.
absolutely.
I'd
There's some
love
stuff
to
I
hear
like.
it.
I've been trying to,
No.
but you guys have been dragging it down, so I'm like, all right, I'll just go with this for now.
I do like the line. Like I laughed when Nikki said, "Make sure to refer to all women as females," because I hear that all the time and it pisses me off.
Yeah,
I don't get it at all. I don't understand the problem with that.
because it's derogatory.
Just
It's
say
It's so
women.
weird, dude. It's so
They're
like
women.
it's
like
so
when,
weird.
when
Like
you when you come into your
females.
when you come into your group, it's like,
derogatory.
yeah, the females are all like this, and like, what the fuck you talking about?
Look, I'm not saying that I say that because I don't, but I don't understand what's derogatory about it. How what
You don't
guy
understand because you're not
Listen.
female.
Listen,
And-
call women females and find out.
Well,
I mean,
especially like
fucking-
in like a like almost because it almost sounds like you're talking to them like they're animals, like in
It's
a
almost
nature
like a-
documentary.
That's how we
you know
always-
what I mean? Like,
always-
It sounds like you're
yeah.
doing like an encompassing term.
like they're
for them.
different species.
yes, if you hang out with a bunch of weak-willed people, dude. I don't hang out with a single woman that if I called a female, she'd be like, "What the fuck did you call me? I called you what you are."
I don't know. We all I call I
Just
don't
say
know.
women. It's just
I call
it's-
Paris bitch
I mean,
sometimes
I say-
in a loving way. I'll be honest. I get what you're kind
I'm
of saying,
saying-
Richard. If you're comfortable
It's
with a
like-
person,
it-
you can
it-
do it. But like,
But like, if you go up to some random girl on the street and
Yeah.
call her like female, and like it has to be like the tone as well that they
I mean,
do.
for one, context and tone do matter, but two, it is such an absurd thing to get upset about. That's like if somebody walked up to me and said, "Hey, male," I'd be like, "Hey."
Well, that's different
That's
because
what I
it's
am.
like women they get fucking berated with like shit like this
I'd
from
still
men all
find
the
it weird.
time.
I'd still find it weird if you came up
I'd
to me and you're like
still-
male. I'd be like,
yeah, I would
like,
find it
what?
weird too.
Like, yeah, if he like came up to me like my male, like I'll be like, what the fuck? Are you
hey, dude. Dude is like unisex or whatever you call it. Like that's like everyone
Yeah.
would be dude.
Be like, "Huh, that was weird," and then I'd move on because I'm a male. So what the
But
fuck?
when so
Well, if like a
many
guy came up to a girl and be like,
guys
I like
do
I like
that.
females, they'll be like, get the fuck away
The
from me.
female of the species.
Like the female of the species is funny because like they're still working off that.
Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah, like they're playing on that.
anyways, I thought that was funny.
But-
I
oh,
like
can I also say-
Nikki's. Yeah.
Pug and Nikki in this episode again,
Yeah.
awesome. I love them.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like Nikki's got like a little bit of like Jen's awareness rubbing
Yeah.
off on her or something. Because like Titania like bursts through the wall. She's like, "Does that bitch ever use the door?" And
Yeah, really.
I forget what else she said. One other thing that was
Hey, how
like
come you can say
self-aware.
bitch, say female.
Pardon?
How come you can say bitch, but you can't say female?
Because that's what
she
Nikki
can
said.
say bitch. She
Oh,
can
yeah,
say
a girl could
bitch.
a girl
Why
can
is
call another girl a bitch.
Okay, got it.
I'm
Yeah,
using her words.
I'm not saying you calling people bitches. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like, it's a little silly.
But
But, like, you
again,
don't call-
it's
you-
also like
you
'cause
don't see, like-
Titania's not a good person since we know
Yeah.
she is a bitch. I'm sorry. Like sometimes people are
It- like,
bitches. Like,
look, she is a
if
bitch.
you if she called like, oh look at females here, that'd be weird.
that would be really weird. You gotta
I'm
admit,
not-
Richard. You gotta admit on that
I'm not
front.
going around. I'm not going around calling all women bitches, but Titania in this specific case is a bitch.
Yeah. It's totally applicable. He fits the
It's
title.
it's all of the situation and the way you say it. It changes things.
You
Fuck,
can
I
quote
forget
me on
the I forget the other
every
line
woman
she said.
that was a bitch.
What? What'd you say?
I think every single female in this show fits the textbook definition of a bitch.
Oh
In
my
a sense,
God.
I would almost agree. I am not gonna lie. I would almost agree with
disagree.
that.
Nikki's great.
He's
Nikki
fun.
is great.
Nikki's fun,
Pug
but
is
a
the best
little bit of
character.
a bitch. A little bit of a person that I don't know if I would be very like friendly with all the time.
There's not a single woman in this show that I would be caught dead hanging out with.
Yeah,
They all just seem
I don't know.
selfish, self-indulgent assholes.
Yeah.
I really
It
want
goes for
someone
every
to
man
get
in
the
this show
line now.
too, by the way.
Pug is great. You take that out your
Well, the
fucking mouth.
pug is like stupid. That's the problem.
Pug
It's
is-
like
Dumb as shit. He's just dumb.
it's really weird. I will say I was excited because I was like, oh, Pug is like a character that I like. And then Pug was stupid. Pug was like, I'm just gonna act really dumb every time
Because I
you
think
see
they're,
me.
yeah,
It's
that's like
easy to like
sort of
Pug,
like the flip
funny.
around where like every girl in like a male centric show is like a dumb blonde. Pug is like the dumb, guy in this show.
Yeah.
Every guy in the show is dumb or evil, but it's easy to like Pug because he's funny and he's kind of cute. But the reality is, Pug has all the characterization and personality of a cardboard box.
He has
Darth
the
Maul
character
has-
of a pug.
I will say I like that Kevin has Kevin Feige's hat.
That was a great
Yeah,
detail.
I like that.
The small things like that, I was like, "Yup, that's cute."
Yeah,
That was cute. Did you know Kevin Feige complained about that?
He did.
Yeah, he did, he did. and the writers are like,
So
"Why
weird.
is that the thing that you're like
Yeah.
being weird about?"
We're turning you into a all-knowing robot that controls the MCU, and you're
Yeah.
complaining about the hat.
Yeah, I actually like Kevin too. I thought Kevin was a fun idea. I just don't like the way they implemented it.
Yeah.
I like that there's this. I don't know. I'm conflicted about this, but there's a canonical reason of why the CG is shit in the show.
Yeah, it's a
Kind
canonical
of
reason
dark,
that they're
actually. When you
is
think
that
Yeah.
they're working on Black Panther.
They're working on Black Panther. You heard the Black Panther musical cue,
to
but
even
it's
make
also
the
a
joke about like the effects team right now when like the effects
Yeah.
kind of thing is going on. Like that's pretty
it's like a
weird.
backhanded thing.
Yeah.
Like we're mistreating our
Can you do
our
it off
CG.
camera? Our effects team is onto another project. Dun-dun.
Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
to another project and they're struggling. So
They're
yeah,
struggling,
and let's
there's-
make a joke about it. so
That's what I'm
so
saying.
yeah,
like-
I'm conflicted on that.
Because like last time you were
was
saying that like,
weird.
we need to take a break on MCU because like the effects people would love to have a break as well.
I like
Yeah.
that. Like you need to transform, but you need to do it when the cameras are looking away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my stance still stands that they need to maybe take a short hiatus of the MCU.
they just need to chill on what they're doing. I think in a sense, because like yeah, it's cool.
Because
that we
I
get all
think
these
they're
projects,
working
but-
in grand scales right now.
Too
where
big of
they need to move it down to fucking more like handheld holdable sort of moments.
Well, the problem for me with something like Kevin, even though I did think it was a kind of a fun idea, is that when you introduce something like that, now everything in the MCU just feels meaningless.
Well, that's what I was saying with the power creep thing earlier. When
I think
you
it's
were
just
here,
I
like,
think it's just for the
hard.
show.
Yeah, exactly. It's just we're never gonna see it again. But it is one of those things where it makes you go like, well, what the hell? Like, so if all that is happening, what the fuck is the point in all this?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the next movie that She-Hulk is in, or next show or anything, they're gonna be like, why didn't She-Hulk just break out the show and do this and change that instead? Like,
Who knows?
It's just for
Maybe
her
she
show.
will.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. Like they've done this in the comics a lot too, where like the
if
characters.
Thor knew about
meet the
Eternity, why
artists.
didn't you just go to her and kill Thanos?
That's the whole ship. I brought. I mean, that's my big power creep for that movie too. Because with Thanos doing his plan, I'm like, dude, there was a way easier plan. Just get
Yeah.
Thor's fucking.
Just go to get Thor, go to Eternity, and just wipe out the universe.
boom. There you go, buddy. Easy peasy. You don't got to get 5 fucking stones together for
Is
no
it
reason.
is Eternity still there, or is like
I don't know.
I think
the
it's the
use
kid
of
now,
Eternity
right? Like
done?
Eternity is the kid.
Oh, the kid has like Eternity's power. Yeah,
Oh, okay. But is Eternity still like a place you can?
I don't
go?
fucking know, man.
Yeah, not really a thing we're going to be like actually getting an answer to. I
No.
think properly. So unless it
But,
becomes pivotal for fucking Secret Wars, who knows? I don't know.
Ugh, I don't know.
This
But yeah,
child
the
was
like
set up
power
in this
scaling,
movie.
like bringing in like things that are more powerful than the last most powerful thing is kind of ridiculous because like, well, if Thor knew about eternity, like he knew about this too. Like he wasn't surprised to know that existed. Anyway,
Yeah, but
let's
I
get
don't
to
think
the
he
movie.
knew how to get there.
But then he also had to do like a whole like learning mission on the Infinity Stones. So I mean, like it's kind of weird, right? Like the level of the knowledge, I guess. But
Yeah,
Right.
I like the bringing up both the daddy issues that I didn't think
Yeah.
about, and the wink and nod to the X-Men and
yeah.
her
The
like
first time they say
giving the
X
thumbs
Men
up.
in the MCU.
Yeah,
and it was in this little moment.
yeah,
course.
where she's like, "Hey, I'm looking out for you. I'm trying to get some answers."
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I had some fun moments in the show.
There's some
but
fun moments. There's a lot of shit, but you know,
Cute. Like
all in
the
all,
whole
will I
show.
watch?
Yeah.
Will I watch again? Fuck no.
Absolutely not. I will fully.
It's
admit.
not going to be a show I rush to rewatch. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have a problem rewatching it.
I will like if anyone wants to do like a MCU like week long marathon, I'll be like, we could skip this. I'll just tell you what happens in it.
Yeah, this one is
Or we
one
just
that-
watch like a couple episodes where it's like literally like this
We'll
Daredevil
watch
one,
the first and the last episode, and that'll be the most pivotal
Yeah.
shit.
the first, and then like the two last ones, and like this is all
Yeah.
you needed to really get from the show. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
There was no leader, there was no abomination, and there is no whatever the meme goes in that freaking Megamind clip. I always forget what it is. There is no tooth fairy.
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, like it feels sad that we don't even have that much to say. I feel about this in a sense, but
So where's she at right now? She's back to being a lawyer. She's back to being a Hulk. Titania is doing whatever she's doing.
Todd is arrested.
Hulk's back. Yeah, Todd's
Hulk is
arrested.
back with his kid.
which
Yeah, Hulk is
also
back to
I
this
figured that we'd get a little Josh in this show still.
He's
like-
somebody that Todd hired.
Yeah, for
Josh
sure.
is
But
just some guy, man.
I get
Yeah.
it, but I figured that like that there'd still be like a through line with that or something. Like
He's
he'd show up
done.
at the
He's
very
out.
end. I know, but still felt
He's
weird. Still
shot.
felt very like, what the hell?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, I did this. I saw your blood. That's it. I'll leave.
Well, no, I just like he would be at Intelligentsia or something like that. I don't know.
I hope every show brought to the table gets nuked from orbit.
Oh, you hear that, everybody? Go to this address, and we're gonna have a party for you. Apparently.
Oh yeah,
I
and
hated
Abominations and
every aspect of the
Carnage.
show with the exception of one episode, which I'm angry that it gave me a tiny sliver of hope, but it didn't. And I there's not a single thing in this show that I think was a positive thing for the MCU as a whole.
It's like we were saying earlier that like the leader should have been the leader of Intelligentsia because like they were saying that the whole time. Like because I was saying that like we could probably write this shit better.
They pulled a Iron Man 3 Mandarin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's what
actually
she thought
just
it was.
Todd. This one guy she went on
Yeah.
date with that one time
Which like
what-
it was
has
so
been a pain in my dick the entire time.
it was such a underwhelming thing. Like it could have been something, but it was nothing. Like an absolute
literally
nothing
direct-
thing.
They just erased it. They said, "Oh, never mind,"
Yeah.
and it was gone.
Which like okay, so but he's still there. Like so, wait, what?
They
all
kinda
of the
made a-
blood thing happened. Then I'm very confused
Yeah,
now
no.
because if he's at the
Yeah,
very
that's-
end getting like arrested, what is
Yeah.
he getting arrested really for?
It led nowhere.
I guess
No, he-
Intelligentsia.
Yeah, he got arrested for exposing
Like defamation.
I
yeah,
guess,
defamation.
but like,
yeah.
fuck. Okay, feels like there was like again, it's just really weird because
Well,
like it implies such a weird like change
Yeah.
in reality suddenly.
And they made
like,
fun
it-
of this fact by saying, like, when she entered the door, like, we're thinking for season 2, we make the entire season in a dreamscape. Like it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Please don't. Like I'm
No.
worried about that with Moon Knight, and I was like, I was so.
I don't think they're actually going to do that. They're just making fun of it.
I was
Like
so
they're
happy
aware
that
that
Moon Knight
that's where
wasn't
this-
in a dream sequence type thing. I guess it kind of was, but I mean, like, not really. Like, it was like a mindscape thing.
Where they died.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was handled a little bit better, but yeah,
Man, I can't believe Moon Knight died in that show.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
miss Moon Knight. I know Richard doesn't, but I do.
Nope.
Richard
Uh,
can never be pleased by MCU ever
So,
again.
Richard, are you still gonna keep watching MCU stuff?
I want to say no because I hate the direction it's going, but probably.
So if let's say you like the stuff that's coming up, and She-Hulk makes an appearance, or she's like part of a team up or whatever, would that like make you go, no, I'm not watching it?
No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't hate She-Hulk as a character. I don't hate how Tatiana, whatever her last name is,
Maslany?
I don't care how she portrayed the character was fine. I actually feel bad for her because she's going to catch so much shit for this. My problem has been and always will be with bad writing, and this show was written so poorly that it makes me hate it. So
you're fine with She-Hulk, you just don't want another She-Hulk show. Like you're fine with her
I don't
showing
want
up
more
elsewhere.
bad writing, and more than bad writing, I'm just as tired as formulaic writing, which is why I didn't like Werewolf by Night, because it's more canned Marvel stuff. It's just exactly what I expected to be, and I want something that makes me give a shit, because now it's just like everything that has the MCU on it. It's just like a nice can of same, and you just pour it on a plate and you eat your same and you like it.
But
and
I
then
don't
you
know
watch
if
the next.
I agree with that in a sense, because like this show is super evidence of like them willing to go in like a super comedy direction, while like Werewolf by Night.
This show falls into the same category. This show falls into the bad category. Werewolf by Night falls into the same category. They just made it black and white.
Sure, but I mean, like, it still had like different elements that I would say attribute it more to like a monster flick, like a Universal monster movie type thing. So it has different flair to it.
Yeah.
And like that's what I want from all these things going forward, is to have like a different direct, like with how Multiverse of Madness was like, we're gonna try to be horror. It didn't really go full out, but it tried. Like I appreciated that element of it.
I see the thing. I actually liked Multiverse of Madness. I thought that was a pretty fun movie where they tried new things. And yeah, the writing was a little at times for sure, but they did try some new things that I actually did enjoy. The flip side though is like, I will outright say this: when it comes to the MCU movies, I'm not done yet. When it comes to the MCU shows, I don't think I'm watching any more of them.
I'm not done with the movies, especially considering the next one looks really fucking good. I like cannot deny that
the
Wakanda
shows
Forever looks really good.
I will agree. The shows, like especially since like the very beginning, where like they were like pretty good. Now they're just sort of a pile of dog shit.
It feels like this phase they almost shouldn't have done the Disney Plus shows. You know what I mean? Like if they had done what you said, AJ, where they kind of toned it back a little for this phase and chilled out, just did movies like twice a year, something like that, and then when that phase ended, boom, now we got Disney Plus shows. Like now we can explore some things. But I feel
I disagree because I've been enjoying them.
I enjoyed them, but I mean, it's kind of like it feels cluttered. I gotta agree. It feels like they really.
Like, I think they could definitely pull back on the reins of the MCU by like releasing like a movie a year, like even less than that, you know. Just
I would at least like a movie.
Give the fucking
movie or two.
Give the fucking workers a break, for God's sake.
Yeah, if I would be fine with sacrificing how often we get these if it means that the working conditions are better for their employees.
Working conditions are better and the product is better too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just frustrated with it all.
I'm willing to wait like 2 or 3 years for the next Marvel movie if it's like gonna be a fucking blowout badass movie, you know?
See, but like I feel as though that is sorry, Richard, to keep cutting you off, but like I feel as though like that would also be not a good idea potentially, because it doesn't confirm that product is going to be a banger per se. It just means that it's going to be a long.
No, but at least people aren't in crunch and like stressed the fuck out and everything.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like the new
I'm more worried
Black
about that.
Panther is probably going to be really, really good.
I hope so.
Like just from what I've seen so far, and I've only seen as much as you guys have seen, it looks to be like it's going to be a good movie.
I can't believe Namor has wings on his ankles. That's so dumb.
He always does.
I know. I'm on that team. It's so dumb looking. I hate it. Holy fuck.
It's true to the character.
I don't care.
Even in like interviews, like the creators were like, "Yeah, we know it's dumb. That's the point. We're putting it on there because we know it's dumb.
Oh God,
we're keeping it. He's a mutant in the MCU.
I don't care.
I'm
so bad.
I'm trying to express this opinion, but
why does this underwater guy have wings on his feet?
I'm more excited about Black Adam than anything that the MCU has put out in the last 5 years.
When you say concerned, I mean, do you mean because it's going to be bad? Like, what do you mean?
No, I think it's going to be good. I
I
think it's going to represent the DC universe in a very positive way.
if that movie's good, I will eat my shoe.
Well, the reviews on Black Adam have been really good. Like I am expecting it to be good. I just don't think it could save the entire DCU. Because
I'm gonna fucking go see
No,
that movie
there's
just
no way.
for popcorn.
There's no
just
way.
for popcorn, literally.
yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
go
watch
see
it. Yeah,
and
for
fuck
sure.
it. I'm probably gonna like it. I'm still not gonna watch any other DC movies
I probably
because of
will be
it.
very meh on it. I'll be honest, because like Dwayne, I love you, dude, but fuck, I'm done.
But like, it's not gonna shift my opinion of the DC universe, for far enough to be like, yeah, I'll definitely watch every other movie and every show that's ever gonna come out after this.
Has anyone complained about the CGI in those trailers? Because like, fuck me, I watch any DC movie trailer and I just am like, I don't like it.
I don't think the CG in any DC movie looks any worse than Marvel.
I mean, like, it's on the same tier. I just don't see the complaints about it as much. I feel.
I think
because people
I
don't care
know.
about DC as much.
There we go. Thank you.
So far, DC's track record with TV shows is way better than Marvel's.
Don't they
Way
only
better.
have like a couple right now? Like, don't they have Peacemaker? What else?
So we have
Pe-
Peacemaker, which blows anything
Peacemaker-
Marvel has out of
Peacemaker's
the water.
great. I don't know about that, but it's really good.
Then we have like the Harley Quinn show, the animated
Okay,
show.
the animated shows. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's amazing.
Harley Quinn is really good. I'll give you that.
Mhm.
That's what I'm like. Look, I know DC doesn't have as much as Marvel right now,
Man,
but
the
can still
Arrowverse
knock
is
that
fucking
apart with
awesome.
animated movies. And the Peacemaker show, like I said, I think is better than anything Marvel's put out. That
Like-
includes
like
movies
movie?
in the last 5 years.
Like movies and stuff too. I don't know about that, man. I can't stand behind that, but I will say that Peacemaker was
Yeah, me
awesome.
neither.
I heard it was really good. I haven't watched it. What was it on again?
Me
Is it on
neither.
like HBO or no? What was it on?
HBO.
It was
Was that-
on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you can find
don't.
on Crave.
Yeah, I can find out Crave, I guess, but it's just I don't know.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think that the DCEU, even for its bad movies, is infinitely more interesting than anything Marvel's been putting out.
I don't know.
It doesn't
I
feel
don't know if I
like
agree with
or
that at all.
it might feel bad.
Interesting.
It's like some of them might not be the best.
It
movies.
is
I'm
interestingly
personally-
bad. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of all of the movies, but I do like some of them. And at the end of the
I
day,
am certainly interested in how they
much more-
fucked it up so bad.
Which
For
which
sure.
ones did you like, Richard? Which ones did you like?
which ones did I like?
Yeah. Like which ones were you like of the DC universe? Or like what movies did you like? Like
So
feel
Man,
were
I think
standouts.
Man of Steel is pretty good. I think Wonder Woman is great up until the
Yeah.
last act, which marvels it
Okay,
up.
agree.
I think that the first Suicide Squad movie was not good, but the second one was good.
Was awesome.
Mhm.
I liked the second
Yeah.
one.
They had to get
Uh,
James Gunn for that one, so yeah.
Peacemaker, of course, is fantastic. I think Batman versus Superman is not good theatrically, but is actually pretty good if you watch the Ultimate Cut, which adds like a whole 45 minutes to the movie. And I think that the Zack Snyder Justice League is actually tremendously good.
I would agree. Yeah, like if you have a 4-hour runtime and it's not good, I would be very concerned.
I would be like, that is a zero if you did that. If you made me sit through
I'm not
4
gonna
hours
sit
and I
through
done
4
didn't like
hours
it.
of a shit movie. Because like the thing is, it had to be good. Otherwise, Zack Snyder would have been torn apart.
Yeah, I just think that even when they've flopped, like Batman versus Superman, the DC movies are just more interesting to me because there's stuff happening that is, at least to me, memorable. Whereas all the Marvel shit is just like, bleh.
The only thing that like I can say that I took out of like Batman vs Superman positively, I feel, was that one Batman scene that everyone talks about, like the scene where he's just kicking the shit out of everyone in the warehouse. But
The warehouse fight scene,
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the best superhero fight scenes ever made.
like I think it's dope. It looks cool. But I mean, like other than that movie, like I remember seeing it in theaters, and the scene when Lex Luthor confronts Superman on top of a skyscraper, I remember literally emotionally feeling like I'm checking out of this film right now. Like I am done. Like the helicopter came
Yeah, no.
around, and I'm like, I'm falling asleep. I'm out. I'm
What
phasing
was
out.
your opinion on the new Robert Pattinson Batman again?
I liked it.
I-
Oh, you're asking me. Sorry.
I
Richard.
mostly liked it. I thought it was really hard to watch, though. Like, just the way they filmed it, it was really dirty and Vaseline looking.
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie, I felt blurry. I like
can
the
see
movie.
that.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I really like that movie. Yeah.
It was a really
I
good,
think
like, I
that-
don't want to, like, say that it's going to set up a whole Batman thing, because it is, apparently. But, like, I thought it was a really good just look into that world, even if we didn't get more, you know?
I don't think that it is. I think that their current plan is to have it have its own universe, but it's not connected to the DCEU.
Well, no. I know that's what I'm saying because they have like a TV show planned or something like that, and then like
But,
sequels.
yeah.
I think there's a
Supposedly
TV
getting-
show planned. Yeah, AJ. Yeah.
Yeah, the Penguin show.
God. Oh yeah, the fucking Penguin show. See, that's the thing is like they're planning like I like it when they plan movies individually, but when they plan like this thing is gonna have a whole universe behind it, and everything's gonna be connected. That's where I'm like, you're fucking up, man. You're gonna ruin this.
Well, especially like when you don't have a solid base already to stand on. Like I feel like we didn't have that until suddenly, like with Marvel, like those first few movies came out and it was like, okay, cool, but
like
it
these
was
are
only
solid
until
individual movies.
it was only
And
until
then
Avengers came out that it was like, oh fuck
it was
yeah,
like, oh
like
shit, this is a thing, you know, like
this is what this can be. Like
Yeah, and that's when it was in its like heyday too, where I feel like everything was pretty damn solid up until around like I feel like around Iron Man 3 was when Marvel started to like lose their way a
that's
little bit.
literally right after that.
Captain America the first Avenger was all right.
I like
Thor
that movie.
1 was dog shit.
Didn't like Thor 1.
Thor 2 was also dog shit. Iron Man 2 and 3 fucking forgettable. A lot of people complain about the MCU nowadays being like it's so shit now. It was like most of the time it's always been shit.
Yeah,
man.
it's always been a bit of a roller coaster. It's just that we look back on it fondly because of what we have now, I feel.
Yeah. We look at it now and we expect really good things because phase 2 and 3 have been fucking killer and amazing. But now that we're in phase 4 and things have been taking a dip, people are like, it's not good. I hate it.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's good
that's
it once was.
that's my fandom voice.
Like, I don't mind a bad movie, you know? Like if the movie's bad, well, that sucks. Bad movies happen every now and then though. Some of the Marvel shit though, and some of the DC shit too, like the first Suicide Squad movie, are so bad to me that they're outright insulting though, where that's like I fucking sat through this garbage.
Where it's like,
Like,
yeah,
that's
this team wasted their time to make this movie, and it's
Right.
dog shit, and what the fuck?
I never
Yeah, like-
finished Wonder Woman because I fell asleep.
You didn't?
Like,
okay, at the end you didn't miss much, because guess what? The
Well,
ending sucks.
Yeah, I know. I saw Ares and his dumb mustache. And then I fell asleep.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, baby. Okay, people, is that... Okay, that's my only... In all honesty, I probably would have been a lot more fine with Ares in that movie if they had just, like, shadowed his face like they do in the comics and shit. Because the fact that it's goddamn... What's his name from Harry Potter?
It's fucking Lupin
Voldemort.
from Harry Potter.
It's goddamn
Lupin.
Lupin's
Right.
mustache is peering through the goddamn helmet. It looked ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Fun fact too is that wasn't supposed to happen. The original script didn't have any of that.
Like,
Patty
what was it
Jenkins,
gonna be?
like-
What was it gonna be?
It was supposed to be that there was no Ares, that it was just mankind is just at war,
Sure,
and that's
That's
something
just dumb.
to deal with.
I would have liked Ares honestly to show up because as like one of those kind of people, I'm sitting there going, Ares is in this movie, fucking right? Like,
Yeah.
Well, if like at the end, it was like there was no Ares at all. It was all in the heart of the people. I would have been.
I mean,
I could,
Totally
but it would have been deep.
totally.
I agree with Richard. It would have been deep. It would have been a very like fuck you to humanity kind of thing. It would have been very philosophical. I like that.
It was supposed to be a way of showing that Wonder Woman and the Themyscirans are correct about mankind and that it's fucked up and it's flawed and that Ares doesn't always have to be involved.
Yeah.
But I guess Patty Jenkins pitched this and the studio shot her down and forced her to do like a big CGI shit show, which is partially why it looks so bad because it was rushed.
It is abysmal looking. Like, holy shit, that whole last act, I was like, whoa. What happened to the fucking visuals
yeah, they made a
here?
sequel to that.
I actually didn't see that movie.
I didn't either.
I haven't watched it yet.
Because I did
either.
not give
heard
a
it's
shit.
fine.
I heard so many bad things, and I feel so bad for Oberyn Martell. I can't remember your name right now. It's your actor,
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Thank you. I felt so bad for him because apparently he actually does do a pretty funny job in that movie as like a
Well,
character.
I think Pedro Pascal knocks it out of the park. Like almost every role he's been in, I'm like, this is a great guy.
if
This
you
is
guys
a
have
great
seen
character.
Equalizer 2, he kills it in that movie. So,
Yeah, he does.
I
he's
Also a great
really
movie.
good in that.
I
For-
think one in
For
84
most
gets
of my life,
bad rap.
I thought Pedro Pascal had an accent. He's American.
I was convinced that he sounded like Oberyn.
Yeah, me too.
Wonder Woman 84 is not a good movie, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as what they've said about it. It's just as bad, in my opinion, as like your Thor 2, where it's still a watchable movie.
It's watchable, but I ain't gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
I'll watch it once, hate it, and then never see it
And then
again.
be like, well, we're done with that. Like, I don't have to see that again. Jesus.
Yeah, Thor's one. I feel the same way about Thor 2.
Thor 2, like, when that came out, I remember being like, oh shit, this can suck. that was
I don't
the
think it's.
emotion I came out with.
I think it's like you said, watchable. I don't hate the movie.
But I felt bad for
still
the
think it's a
villain,
fine
man.
movie, but I don't want to
Oh.
watch it again.
Fucking God.
The
That was
actor?
like, I guess
Oh,
the
fucking-
actor too, because Christopher Eccleston was
the
the
Ninth
actor.
Doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did not enjoy that role.
And it's like, ooh, you could have actually probably made this character interesting and cool. God damn, I feel like Thor villains deserve more than one movie, always. Like, Gore,
Yeah.
fucking Malekith. I always forget his name or whatever because he's so forgettable, but I just feel like they'd be cool to see more of, because the scale of a Thor villain is always so high that it's shocking they don't show up again.
Are all the night elves dead, or do some of them
Yeah, right.
some of them still alive?
Yeah,
Well,
what
there are
happened?
some in
Well,
like the
yeah, because
collectors,
yeah.
the collector's shit.
Oh yeah, the collector has it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so they're
overall,
But his place like got destroyed by Thanos.
that's true.
like final impressions. I think that She-Hulk is a dud. What do you guys think?
I thought it was
Yeah.
fine. It wasn't.
like-
It is my least favorite. Like, it's bottom of my list for Disney Plus shows. But I've
Yeah.
liked all the Disney Plus shows, so I don't hate this. But it's not like
I think
something
it's
I'm
a,
going to be rushing to rewatch.
yeah, it's a blunder. It's a mistake. I'm not gonna watch it again. But
It's a hard meh, but I can't
Yeah.
wait to see her in another thing. Like, that's
Yeah,
why.
like
And that's why when I say with the season 2 thing of Moon Knight, it's just because I feel like he couldn't show
I
up as
think that's,
easily,
like-
but with Shield she could. I feel.
I think that's like a lot of Phase 4 so far. Is like this was a meh thing, but I can't wait to show up in another thing. You know?
So my question is, what do you think is next? Like, where's this all going?
Like, where does she
I don't
show
get
up
it.
next?
I think she's gonna show up in Daredevil. Probably. I don't know. I actually don't know.
That's the next thing.
When?
I-
Let me look at the goddamn list of things coming out.
Oh, you mean like what show is next? I thought you were talking about.
No,
She-Hulk.
like-
No, I don't know. What's
when-
next for the character?
Yeah, like what does she do next? Yeah.
Yeah, the character,
I
or
think
even
she gets a job at
Abomination or
Marvel.
the Hulk. That.
I think that this show is the first time that the MCU has put out an outright dud. Like, I didn't like Moon Knight, but I thought that show was meh, watchable, but eh. I think this is the first time they put out a thing that's like, this is bad.
Well,
That's
what I
not
was
good,
saying,
like-
what I was
So,
saying
like
when
a
you
lot
cut
of
out
things
is,
are like this show is really good. You're always kind of like bad. I'm like, oh no.
what I was saying when you cut out is that like I'm paying attention online. There are a lot of people who agree with us that the show is not the best, but there are legitimately people who the show. So
There's gonna be people that have the prequel effect, where like another thing about She-Hulk comes out, and then they're gonna come back to this and be like, it wasn't that bad. This was actually
Yeah.
really good.
I hate that shit, but it
I
always
hope
happens.
that doesn't happen.
It will. Give it like at least 10 years. People will look back on this and be like, "Oh, let's rewatch freaking Shield because I love it.
Man,
And I loved it at the time."
Phase 4 was the best thing that ever happened to the
Jesus.
MCU.
Yeah, I mean, I
Crazy.
think you're always going to have your general audiences who are just there to watch TV, and their opinions are just like, yeah, it's fine.
That's the
I like
weird thing about like the general audience that like only watches like some MCU stuff, where it's like you're missing like 90% of this
Yeah, like
series.
what do you get out of this?
Like you're in here watching Doctor Who or Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness
Maybe,
without
I don't know.
ever watching anything else.
I would assume maybe they're here for the references, or maybe they're a fan of the character from the comics, or I'm
Well,
not
that's
really
what I'm
That's
saying.
so
Like people
weird,
who don't read
though.
the comics and like only choose one movie to watch out of the MCU. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
I
we
get
have
it. It's like my dad
24
who really
movies to
likes
get through.
my dad who really likes Wolverine will watch like any X-Men movie with him in it. So I get that, but it's like I find that to be so weird, almost like that you can't go farther than that. You don't make that next
Weird.
leap.
I don't think like, do Deadpool fans watch X-Men Origins Wolverine religiously? Like, are they a fan of the
No.
show because
No,
Deadpool's in it?
they throw that in the trash.
So I don't see how that's like how you can do that with Wolverine. Be like, yeah, this movie sucks, but Wolverine's in.
Oh, my dad does that all the time. I will tell you that right now.
It's so weird.
It is, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's strange.
It's weird. Like someone hopping in to like Avengers Endgame without ever watching any other MCU stuff. Like, bro,
People have done that, man.
I know.
I've seen like reactions from people like, "What the hell is wrong?"
this movie's so dumb. It makes no sense. Who
Like,
are
no
these
shit,
people?
you've missed like the last
No
15
shit,
movies, dude.
I say like in general, a lot of Marvel stuff is like you'll miss some references, but you can enjoy the movie on its own. But Avengers Endgame, like,
Yeah.
at least you have to watch some movies.
I think that like I even know people that only watch the occasional thing. Like I know people right now. I've had people in my chat who only have watched She-Hulk, and like
Mhm.
as much as it baffles me, it helps me kind of like temper my expectations and ground myself a little bit and not be absorbed by my hatred of it. Because there are people who are just watching it just to get a quick laugh with their families and then move on. Not everybody is like, but how does it connect to the greater scope of the MCU?
That's what
You know
what
I mean?
I'm trying to watch it as, where it's just like.
Mo-
But even
Moon
then, I'm
Knight I
still
can
like, this is kind
understand.
of like, what the fuck.
Moon Knight,
I like.
that's the kind of show like I didn't watch anything from the MCU, but I'll watch this.
Yeah, and
She-Hulk
would
is
work.
Like
You could do that.
Moon Knight, like
Yeah.
you could totally watch without seeing anything else and still get a complex, nice story of it.
yeah, She-Hulk is just like, here's an MCU reference, here's an MCU reference,
Yeah.
here's an MCU. Like I don't know if you can just watch She-Hulk on its own.
So I'm looking at the list of films coming out and like shows for Phase 5 and all that
Mhm.
for like what she could possibly show up in. I doubt she'll be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That movie already has apparently a lot of shit
Probably
going
not.
on.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, they're in space. She's not going to show up
No,
unless she...
none of these characters
unless they
are gonna show
land
up.
on Earth for some reason.
Yeah.
No.
The Marvels, I doubt it. I could not see that working out in any way.
Unless one of
No.
the Marvels needs a good lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Captain America:
I don't
New
think-
World Order, I could
That would be the thing
see-
I would see, like maybe the most likely, like earliest.
Yeah, and even
possibility
then,
would-
like, I don't know if that's even, like, because if Red Hulk shows up, it maybe is likely, but...
I would say, if anything, the Hulk or maybe Abomination might show
That-
up in that.
That's the thing. What do you think about Harrison Ford potentially being Thaddeus Ross?
we
I
we
think
talked
it's a
about that a
great
little bit. but-
choice.
Great
Yeah.
choice. I'm cool with it, but I don't think that it's. I mean, Harrison, what are you doing, dude? You're gonna hate
Well,
this, and I know that
because
we already
Harrison
talked about
Ford-
it, but
Yeah, Harrison
think
Ford is not a guy that would like the MCU.
but as
that's
Richard
what I
and Till
mean.
pointed out, yeah, like they could just
won't
easily
be.
get voice. He could voice it and not be in the studio at all. Like he
Yeah.
could-
I think I think that he'll do one episode, maybe 2 or 3, and then for the rest of the time that we see him, he's a CG monster using Harrison Ford's likeness. And I expect
We're talking about a
beyond
movie.
that,
Like
he won't
he'll
even
be in a
voice it.
movie.
yeah, like if it's Captain America: New World Order, like I see it like being or whatever we said per se with like how it's like that first like 10-minute ordeal to get rid of, and like
Harrison Ford seems like a guy that I like a famous person I probably wouldn't want to meet.
I heard him in a podcast a long time ago from like a super fan. Like a super fan was interviewing him, and he was shitting on the fan the entire
Yeah.
time, and he
Yeah, that's the
sounded
thing.
like a dick. And it's like, no, this doesn't seem like a guy you want to meet.
I don't want to meet him in real life, honestly.
Never meet your heroes, folks.
He famously hates Star Wars. He's always been vocal about it.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, I know.
So it's like I expect him if he's going to be in a movie, he will be in it for all of 10 minutes, and then the rest of it is just him just recording a couple of grunts.
He hates Star Wars,
sound-
but apparently loves Indiana Jones. So
Yeah, I don't think that. I think people are thinking too hard about what Harrison Ford's going to be doing. He'll be in the movie for 10 seconds, then he's gone.
yeah.
I think
What's
it's
the
a good
next-
choice, though.
What's the next show? Oh,
The
sorry,
next, the
I
next
interrupted.
well, I mean, other than that though, Captain America: New World Order, then
Nothing's
Thunder,
dated.
yeah,
It's either going to be What If or it's going to be Secret Invasion. Or no, not Secret Invasion.
that's
Is
actually
that gonna be a show?
yeah. Secret Invasion is a
Yeah.
show. What If is coming out early 2023.
Oh, Secret Invasion. I was thinking of Secret Wars.
Secret Invasion early 2023. Echo mid 2023.
Actually, I'm surprised Echo's not next. I thought
Well-
Echo would be next.
I
They
am
just put it back.
like this. Echo is gonna be like this show where I am not excited. For
I
it
am
at all.
less excited for Echo than I was
I-
for this by
I think
leagues.
Yeah.
Echo is going to surprise you guys.
I hope so. Like honestly, yes. I seriously hope it does.
They actually
you
have
guys
it
seen
on
the new-
here. Sorry, what?
Have you guys seen like this just happened like yesterday? There was news on Echo.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, so Echo got pushed back amidst concerns over the direction of the show.
Oh,
Oh.
shit. Okay, well then
Which means
I'll
it's gonna
take my
suck.
I take my statement back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably
Because
gonna suck.
this show, I think, got pushed back for the same reasons.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully think that. I think that after the reception of She-Hulk, they looked at Echo and they were like, "Uh-oh."
Oh, people aren't gonna like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's concerning.
So I can see her showing up in Secret Invasion. Maybe Echo maybe needs a lawyer.
I don't see She-Hulk showing up in Secret Invasion.
I think possibly Deadpool, but I don't even know about that.
Daredevil.
Deadpool's not until like.
Oh
what
yeah,
is it,
Daredevil. I meant
2020?
Daredevil. You're right.
Oh yeah, Daredevil for sure.
Loki, Ironheart, Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Yeah, like
That's another
None
one.
of these.
Yeah, me, Echo, and Agatha. You guys need to fucking excel to make me like you because I'm already going.
because
in
I
negative.
am going in there with like a Richard attitude right now.
Look, I like the character of Echo from the comics. I thought the role was done well in Hawkeye, and it's going to be a sort of like a bridge to the Daredevil show. So I'm looking forward to Echo. Agatha, the only reason I'm looking forward to Agatha, because I agree it's a dumb idea for a show. The only reason I'm looking forward to it is Catherine Hahn, because
Exactly.
I liked her role
Yeah.
in WandaVision. So
Yeah,
it's definitely. Sorry.
Like I don't want to like I've hated this show, but like I don't like intrinsically go into a Marvel show or a Marvel movie expecting to hate it. I'm at a point now where it's like you guys are coming from one of the biggest companies, if not the biggest freaking entertainment company in the world.
it is.
There's
the
no
biggest.
excuse to put out garbage.
I agree.
I just
There's
can't
the-
watch these shows and think like, oh, they didn't think that this was bad. Are you kidding me?
See, now, alternatively, I do say I come into these shows with a positive attitude. Like, I want to be, like, excited. I don't know how the word would be. I come in, like, hyped. And then I think that always, like, yeah, like, I'll be brought down a little bit. Unless you're, like, fucking Mandalorian, where I'm, like, literally I'm sitting in the goddamn chair and I'm teleported to another dimension, I feel. But, like, but like, as far as, like, Marvel shows so far, I always feel like by the end of it, I get a little bit, like, disappointed by the end, always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even with the ones that I've been like, hell yeah. Like WandaVision, I was like, hell yeah. I thought the last episode was way too much like a normal Marvel movie for me to be like as into it though. So
I kind of feel the opposite. I feel like WandaVision is the only show so far that nailed it the entire way through.
I think it did really well.
Yeah, I didn't
I-
have any problems with
Hawk-
WandaVision.
like the ending
Hawkeye
just felt
started off
so
great.
much like against what the rest of the show is kind of doing for me. That's it, I think. But
We'll see, man. I don't know what the future of the MCU is, and I mean that literally. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. None of this makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what they're doing.
Because like
It's pretty
in like
obvious.
phase 3, I was like, oh, like the ending I think is like them just building up different aspects of like teams and stuff. Like their end goal is to
Yeah, this is the short term is we're building up teams. They're going to build up Thunderbolts, Young Avengers, and a new Avengers team.
and possibly Midnight
Secret-
Suns maybe.
Secret Invasion is going to twist stuff up and be like, oh, these characters that we knew about were Skrulls or something like that.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get
She-Hulk is Skrull.
yeah, Kang's gonna be like put in several different projects, and we're gonna have that culmination with the Kang Dynasty, and there's gonna be some more multiverse crossover stuff. But it's all gonna culminate to the end, which is Secret Wars, which is just gonna be like a big multiverse movie where they might just fucking blow up the MCU because that's what they did in the comics.
yeah, and
Good.
man, like depending on the direction going forward, like if they do that and then they're like, and now soft reboot, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, it could.
I'm taking
It's
a
a
break
possibility.
or something. 'Cause that's the
They-
opportunity to kind of fucking stop in a way, but like that's my
Yeah.
problem with them doing what they're doing right now is it feels too soon in a way where I'm like, you guys set up for 10 years your whole fucking Infinity War arc, but now this
Yeah.
like multiverse arc you're gonna try to blow out in like 5 years.
Like
so good
I'm
luck.
concerned about it. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but there is a possibility because there's precedent in the comics. So
Yeah.
who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
Like we want to
I'd love
recast the Cap,
that.
we want to recast an Iron Man, all that kind of shit.
Mhm.
Like,
I
Yeah.
want regular movies in the movie theater again.
You really think they're gonna do that with Secret Wars? They're just gonna recast old characters?
I don't
who knows?
I don't think that's out of the question. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, certainly
but I
a
don't
valid
think it's
question, but
beneficial.
man, are the fans gonna hate that?
That's my biggest fear. That's what I'm saying, AJ. Like that, the reset.
But that's what they're
scary.
kind of implying by saying, "Hey, this is Secret Wars." Like that's the implication.
Because after that, like in the comics, it was a reset. It was like everyone's I mean, not 100%, but like like everything was like we're setting it up at base again. We're all together here. Miles, you're in
new
our
number
universe.
one
You are no
comics.
longer an ultimate character. You are now in my universe.
All of a sudden, the X-Men exist.
Right.
Like they're continuity is out the door at that point.
We've talked about this on a previous episode, but I think that God, it might have even been for Moon Knight. I think like when we talk about losing the respect of the fans, I think that they're more than aware of the fact that their core MCU fans are a group that they are quickly aging out of. Like there's guys like us who are still watching it, but I think that the vast majority of the general audiences that were watching these MCU things when they first launched are quickly getting too old to give a shit. So now they're catering towards an entirely new generation, and they're just sweeping the rest to the side.
Like, yeah, that sounds plausible for sure.
But I mean, I'm still in it. I still look forward to it.
I'm
in
it.
You can't deny that. Yeah, they're looking for who's their target audience, who's going to buy the most merchandise. So yeah.
God, I hate that I'm still in it. I hate you guys for keeping me in it.
You can leave.
You can leave whenever you want, man.
I ask you, and you can leave.
You know damn well that I can't.
You're forced to watch,
shit, dude.
You'll have a whole break from this in a little bit because honestly, like this slew of shows is gonna end. We're gonna have a little bit of a breather time soon. Don't worry, but you get to get your last bit of rage out pretty much next week on our Rings of Power discussion on Saturday. So,
oh boy, real quick,
boy,
not like that show.
No, boy, he hates it, dude.
More than anything that I've ever seen.
You think he hates She-Hulk? He fucking hates Rings of Power.
I guess I don't like it then.
I
thought it was okay. I liked it.
I missed the last Andor episode, and I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to move on.
Okay.
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought that episode was awesome too. You missed out on
so good.
Honestly, dude, not having you and having Kaz cleaning his room that episode was like a gong show.
Yeah, my motorcycle was getting fixed at the shop, and I had to go pick it up. So unfortunately, I had to miss the episode.
Like Kaz is even lower than I am on that show. Like I like it enough, but he's like, I hate the show. He thinks it's the most boring thing in the world.
Man, I thought that last episode was like super tense.
Dude, and I might have been stoned out of my gourd, but I was like fucking feeling it the whole time. I felt my legs, my legs were goddamn like freaking out the whole time.
So Andor is a good show.
Yeah.
If you like Star Wars, I think you're gonna like the show. If you don't like Star Wars, you might want to wait until it's all done.
If I like The Mandalorian.
Oh shit!
Mandalorian.
Do you not like Star Wars?
I would say that if you like slow burning kind of crime drama, you'll like Andor, whether you like Star Wars or not.
But if you liked Mandalorian, you might think some elements of this show are like taking a damn long time. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. It's a very, very slow
Mando's
show.
A very good show at dropping in and coming out and being like, we dropped in.
Yeah, there's like
did what we
different
had to
stories
do.
per episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like you have to wait for 3 episodes. I think that's what I was saying, Richard. I know we're not going to do this, but doing an episode or doing a discussion every 3 weeks for that show almost, I think, makes more sense because it just...
I kind of agree.
It almost has more content when you feel the full power of the arc.
They have 3 episode arcs.
Yeah. And again, it makes me go like, well, fuck, why don't you just have 4 episodes? Like, why is Andor and She-Hulk the longest of their respective shows and they feel the most, like, aimless?
Money.
I guess. Sure. It's weird.
They need to pad that shit out so that people keep their...
the only way we stop doing, the only way they stop doing that shit is if we stop paying them.
Yep. I have. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, don't admit that on stream.
I already have on my own stream.
Oh no!
This is why Marvel just canceled my internet.
Yeah. All right, but do you guys have any other closing thoughts you want to make on She-Hulk or where the MCU is going as a whole, or the whole show in a sense? Yeah.
Despite my problems with the show, I do want to see the character show up in more stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm looking forward to it.
My only
okay.
She-Hulk is a thought that should stay closed.
Wow.
Case closed.
I'm on the same line of as Till here. I like it might have flopped, but I'm excited for what the future might hold.
Can't wait.
Also,
to see it.
Madison. Bring Madison back.
Yes.
Breaking Pug and
Yeah.
Madison.
I thought
and-
she was
and
gonna be at the end,
Galen.
man. Oh.
More Madison, and I'm happy. I am
Yeah.
excited about a potential Wong show. That sounds cool to me.
What?
What
I
a
don't give
Wong
a
show.
fuck if they do that.
It's
fuck.
the Wong cinematic universe
You
now.
gotta call it
Oh.
the
You need
Wong
to accept
show,
it.
man.
Like, I like him, but man, he is showing up a little too much for me.
So weird.
So
he's
this
such,
is
he's
Wong?
such like
Yeah.
a minor character in the comics, and now he's like the center of the MCU.
I think that's why I like him, because like at the end of the day, if you want to do a sort of carefree, goofy comedy show, She-Hulk, like, I guess works in the comics, but didn't work on TV. I think Wong actually works really good on TV. It's just because it's like you can walk into Wong and be like, I don't care, and it could just be goofy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like you could say that about She-Hulk, though. It's the same kind of concept before you know what it's going to be.
Yes.
Like, because Wong could
Well,
be
that's-
fucking garbage
have.
when we watch it.
You could have, but they
Are they actually making Wong?
Are you being
She-Hulk
fucking
into
serious with that, though? Yeah, seriously.
What would a Wong show be?
Yeah, like, fuck off. I can't tell if we're joking or not.
If they do like a
I watch-
comedy of like a strange like Sorcerer Supreme scenario of the week sort of deal, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I might be in.
I would watch the Wong show. I'd watch Wong just literally just like buying groceries.
Bro, I don't know, man. You would be because
Buying
you say
Ben
that
and
now,
Jerry's.
but then it actually happens, and you'll be furious.
I'd
if
be
that
like, they
was the
wasted
case.
their fucking money and time making this
It
bullshit.
would be a, you know, what would be great as it would be a Wong one shot like they used to do on the DVDs that are now on Disney Plus.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. I mean, look, dude, if I can sit through all freaking 11 seasons or whatever of Seinfeld, I can sit through Wong.
I would love like a Seinfeld
hate
kind
Seinfeld?
of.
No, I love Seinfeld. That's what I'm saying. Like, if
Oh,
we got a
okay.
Seinfeld style show with Wong, where it's just Wong and people
No,
around him doing shit,
I love that idea. Just like a Seinfeld inspired MCU show.
That's
I
what-
would
yeah,
fucking love.
Because the MCU could definitely not be a superhero. Like some of them could not be a superhero
Yeah.
show, and it'll still be
Right.
hilarious. It'll
You
still be
guys know
great.
that YouTube channel
way-
that like how it should have ended?
Yeah.
They have like a Seinfeld running gag where it's like Superman and Batman just
Oh, the
talking
cafe
about
thing,
Yeah.
movies in
Yeah.
the cafe. Yeah, like I would
Yeah.
love something like that for the MCU.
I think that would be the most refreshing thing for the MCU is to put in stuff that isn't connected, that is just fun. Like
Yeah.
the biggest problem with She-Hulk to me, aside from the activism, and I'm not going to get into that again, is that it's so connected to everything, and it's just so frustrating for me. I'm sick of it.
I want stuff
Give me-
like I want the references. Like it doesn't have to be like directly connected to the MCU, but I love the references and them making fun of stuff in the MCU. But
Yeah.
have it in a Seinfeld type setting where they're just talking about it in a coffee shop. Characters just going about their day. There
Mhm.
was a show that was in the works. They filmed the pilot for that never aired. It was called Secret Warriors, I think. It was going to star Squirrel Girl, and it was going to be a comedy set in the MCU.
That. Oh, I
Yeah,
wish. I love
there-
Squirrel Girl.
More recently, somebody leaked like a bit of the pilot filmed on a laptop. Like they took their cell phone and filmed the laptop running it, and they showed like Squirrel Girl running around and doing stuff. And I don't know. I would like to see what
I
that
think I
whole
would like
pilot
that.
was.
Same reason that I liked Peacemaker, where it's like, does this character need a show? And your initial thought is no, and then you watch and you're like, all right, this is fun.
That was my takeaway coming out of Suicide Squad 2. I was like, whoa, like that character is like, because they put him in the after credits scene. I was like, really? They bringing him fucking back? Like,
Yeah, we live in a world now where The Rock and John Cena are in control of the DC universe.
WWE made it.
you can't see
What
one of
is
them,
that?
and the other one's a rock. So
Anyway, that's
so
all
well.
About She-Hulk, boys,
Cricket.
I have to get at.
All right,
All right,
What do you say?
he's got to get
said I
out of
gotta
here.
we have to go.
All right, yeah. Well, we got to get out of here anyway too, so that's perfect time. We're actually gonna raid into Gamer Mom Luna. They are playing some tabletop RPGs over there on a really cool looking map app, actually. So I thought they were playing Resident Evil, but they're actually playing tabletop
Maclunkey.
RPGs. Cricket, get out of the bag, you little bastard. Sorry. All right, setting up the raid. Go check.
Cricket on screen. I swear to God.
Goodbye.
I'll do it later. Cricket, get out of the back. Bye, Richard. Go
Bye.
check out Richard. His stream is awesome. He's like brutal to the audience, of course, as the name suggests.
He's very rude. He doesn't like things.
You can throw
As you can
food at
tell.
him. It's awesome. It's funny. He reacts.
If
Every
you
time.
disagree with anything he has said here, go to his stream and throw things at him and support his channel.
Watch him when he's playing like scary games because he's a little bitch. Like I cannot believe that guy screams like
Phasmophobia.
that. Yeah, like holy crap, that guy.
That guy who's always angry, I would assume had like balls of steel.
Yeah, he just is like a little baby when it comes to horror things. Like it's kind of actually
Me
insane.
just crawling on the ground in VR, he screams like a child.
Honestly, 10 out of 10. And then check out Till Plays over at Spawn Trap. Some awesome stuff over there. They talk about MCU stuff and
Just put out a new podcast episode
featuring me,
which-
yours truly.
yeah, featuring Sam.
We talked about some goodness on there, some Thor, Love and Thunder, and a
Mhm.
bunch of new Marvel news. But yeah, it was an awesome time. And we'll see Till again. I think when we talk about Werewolf by Night, or I mean, maybe at this point, maybe just Wakanda Forever. But we will see.
It's likely I won't see that movie in theater. But
Really?
I will.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Damn, unfortunate.
The usual group of people that I go see Marvel movies with do not like seeing them in theaters anymore, and they wait for.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
I don't like
All right.
going to the
We're
theaters.
we're out of here, folks.
All right, bye.
Maclunkey!